Hello and welcome to this video playing Colmenares. Okay, e4. And we have e5. Okay, so we get a Ruy Lopez and d4. Let's see. Can we play d4 now? d4 ed, knight takes d4. Yeah, I think we just play this. This looks like the open variation of the Spanish, or something approximating it. Normally play a6 first before knight f6, so it's bishop d7 now. Looks right. I mean, looks pretty much forced. Okay, bishop g4. So, interesting. So, this is possible that... Okay, so lots of options now. We could play just queen takes g4, and then after knight takes g4, knight takes knight, and... Okay, or knight takes knight, it takes queen. So, knight takes knight, bishop takes queen. Knight takes queen with check. King takes, and then rook takes. That looks interesting, actually. Why doesn't that work? Knight takes knight, bishop takes queen, knight takes queen with check, king takes to get out of the check, and then rook takes bishop. Yeah, let's try that. I don't know about... I'm not sure, but... I mean... So clearly the check first. If we take here... Yeah, that's not going to work, so... Okay, and then... Obviously rook takes bishop, otherwise we're a piece down. Oh, wait a second, aren't we just a piece up now anyway? So... Looks like we're a piece up, or did I miss something? Okay, so this is good for me actually, because it means it's forcing my bishop to let's just take him out. I was going to play bishop d3, kind of on autopilot, but let's just think about this, because we can think about e5 here, because d takes e5 is not possible. And if the knight moves, then we can move the bishop. So, and if takes, and black's pawns get messed up even more. So let's just play this. And yeah, I don't know, that obviously didn't work out quite right, because white's a piece up out of the opening. So just bishop g4 didn't feel quite right. Okay, so knight e4. And let's just think about this again. We could try f3, knight c3, knight takes c3. Bishop c4 looks interesting. Bishop c4, then d5. But d5 can't be taken. So bishop c4 hits f7 and also threatens ed. But ed isn't a threat. Okay, so this is not a threat because this pawn is pinned. So what about just knight c3, knight takes c3, b takes c3 doesn't look so great, so maybe just f3 to hit the knight. Where's this knight going after f3? So is it going to go? It can't go here, it can go here. Bishop c5 then is possible with check, so that doesn't look so perfect. This is interesting, knight d2. Knight d2, if knight takes, rook takes. If pawn takes, then knight takes e4 with check. So let's try that. And obviously, if knight takes knight, we must take with the rook. Otherwise, if bishop takes knight, then that frees the pin and this moves. So I like my position. I'm not quite sure if this is the most accurate way to play, but it looks okay. I mean, the threat obviously is just knight knight takes knight, winning a piece. Okay, so this now we can now play knight to b3. Again, still the pawn can't take. So let's try this. Now if knight takes knight, then bishop takes knight. Okay. So I think knight takes. If bishop takes, then we finally move the bishop. If you take this, then we... Okay, so that's the one you wanted to take. And then I think knight e4, and then we can maybe use the d6 square. If something lands on d8, we're just going to snap it off. And yeah, looks good. Just need to make sure that we don't run into time problems. So I would say probably here something like bishop e3 to pressure a7, and then looking to get knight in here. Okay, h5. Actually, interesting is knight c5 now, or bishop c5. Bishop c5, bishop c5, bishop c5. I think that looks maybe better actually, because we're just trying to get rid of black's remaining defenders here and then try and invade. Because if we can get rid of the bishop e7, then this knight d6 is going to be even more powerful. Okay, so now maybe just coming back with knight e4 and then coming to d6. That should be good. Actually, we're invading on d7 here now. Okay, so now this looks good. Yeah, okay. So rook d7 with check. If king b6, then b4 is possible to keep the knight there, and then if cb, we're going to play obviously knight takes b3. And we've got the rook on the 7th, which looks good. So it's a nice tactic to get the rook on 7th. And obviously if we just leave the knight there, then the f7 pawn is under threat. Okay, so okay. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, so that's great now. That really means that we're pretty much clamped now. So I think we just double on the d file, and then we're going to try and take on f7. And if the f7 pawn is protected, then the plan is to play rook e7, and then get both rooks on there. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm going to take this, and then after rook takes e5, I'm going to play... we can actually just fork this now, can't we? What do we? Yeah, let's keep it simple. Just take this now. Yeah, let's play this. Try and break these pawns up. Double, and we're going to take on b7. Okay, let's take on a7 first. We've got this other fork here. Okay, let's take the other rook now. And okay, so alrighty. Okay. Time is going to be the old issue. Haha, come on, Tim. Oh dear, what am I doing? Gosh, having a brain meltdown here. Whew. Yeah. Slightly embarrassing that you can't checkmate with 2 rooks and 2 pawns, but as long as you get it in under the bell, I guess it's okay. Okay, be back in a moment. Thanks. Yeah, okay, so critical moment of the game, I guess, has to be this point here. Obviously, the the natural response is to move the queen or to block the bishop with f3. When I'm not sure what's happening if we just play f3 here, but I found this idea of just taking the knight first. Once we take the knight, I think we are getting an advantage here. I didn't see until actually afterwards that I was actually a whole piece up, but it felt like we should be getting an advantage. My idea was knight takes knight, bishop takes queen, knight takes queen with check, king takes knight, but then it's our move and we're taking this. So we are winning a piece with this line. So unless I'm missing something, knight takes knight just wins by force. I mean, you play knight takes knight, we play b, c, then bishop takes c, 6 with check. I guess then, let's see, black could try bishop back to d7, and then we take on a8, and black is the exchange down for a pawn. But I mean, I think basically this bishop g4 move just seems to lose. So I think it was one of these situations of just making a kind of hasty move in the opening. After that, I think we kept pretty good control, and especially like some of the moves in the middle game where I maybe played slightly different from how I have in the past. Where in the past, I think I tend to just sort of just play automatically and just try and exchange off all my opponent's pieces in whatever way that happens, even if it is, let's say, not great for my position. Whereas I think here I found some nice ideas, like just trying to find the best moves and just to continue to improve my position. So like instead of just moving my bishop away and then dealing with the knight, just find this knight bd2 and using the pin on the d file to just continue to make my opponent's life harder. And eventually that kind of led to this opening of the d file and getting the pressure on d7, and that eventually meant that not only was it just a piece up, but it also had a sort of overwhelming positional advantage. So I think that was the right way to go, to try and build on the advantage. And then at the end, just running out a little bit of time, but managing to promote and find a 2-rook checkmate. Alright, thanks for watching.